Hello and welcome to the Motorhome channel, the show that's dedicated to buying, owning and getting the most out of your motor caravan. I'm Niall Hampton, and this summer we're bringing you some special shows, which we have imaginatively entitled our Summer Specials. Each of these shows will have a theme. We'll be looking at some new vans, some ones that were recently reviewed, we'll be offering some friendly expert advice, and also some inspirational travel stories from our archive. For this show, we're concentrating on dealer specials. You know, the ones available from big retailer sites that have loads of extra kit added in. So with that in mind, here's what's on this episode.
Coming up in the show, we check out a new Majestic 255 before looking back at a couple of flexible 6-berth dealer specials. Then saddle up with Bryony Symes as she heads to the Cotswolds for a vintage tour.
Marquis Motorhomes is the UK's biggest dealer network, with 11 sites spread up and down the UK. Little surprise then that it produces its own range of dealer special editions. Well, actually it produces two ranges of special editions, but today we're going to be looking at the Majestic. So let's see if this 255, a 4-berth coach built, has a specification that's truly fit for a king. As you can see, the Marquis Majestic 255 is based on the Elders Encore 255. Encore is a new range introduced at the beginning of last season after Elders quietly dropped a spire at the end of the previous season. There are two models in the range, both with floor plans designed to tempt caravanners from crossing the divide. There's a French bed at the back of this one with parallel lounge seating up front, which is very familiar in touring caravans. Now you're probably thinking, with a total of 4 berths but only 2 belted seats, it doesn't quite add up. But no, there's more to it than that, as we're just about to find out. Both lounge sofas convert very easily into a belted travel seat. It's a very painless operation. You just remove all the seating and the cushions, flip up the bed box, raise it up in a vertical position, drop the hinge at the front, and then you're left with a space underneath where the folding seat via 2 levers is magically transformed into a forward-facing travel seat with a seat belt. There's a fantastic view on either side of the vehicle, courtesy of the big window, and you also get a view in the direction of travel through the front windscreen. Marquis has given you an engine upgrade for a start from 130 bhp to 150 bhp, so there's plenty of grunt for when you're out on the road doing your travels. Very necessary if you're hauling around lots of touring kit. Other goodies include things like cruise control, airbags for driver and passenger, automatic climate control, DAB radio, USB and Bluetooth connectivity. Now this kitchen has some very nice design touches, first of which is this lovely cylindrical sink. I've never seen anything like this before, so it's actually rather good. Look at that, lovely circular arrangement and very deep too. You get plenty of washing up in there. There's also a very healthy amount of worktop, some drawers all the way down there, and also over here we have a dual fuel cooker with 1 electric burner and 3 gas rings, assuming the gas runs out. Underneath we have a separate oven and grill unit, and up above a microwave oven. Very nicely done. And also this whole area here has been finished with a different locker facing, which looks very, very swish indeed. With its rather large fixed French bed at the rear, this bedroom looks rather inviting. The fact that it's got a memory foam mattress may make me have a lie down after I finish this. There's storage up above and under the bed, although there are some appliances in there that take a nibble out of the available space. There's also a partition which has been thoughtfully added here to divide the front of the van off from the rear, so your guests up front, if they're going to be partying all the way till dawn, they won't disturb you. The washroom isn't the biggest one in the world, but I like the way it's arranged. In particular, look at the shower cabinet on the end wall. Rather than just plonk it there, they've actually added some surrounds to the side and to the top and to the bottom, so you really have to step into it. I think that's a really pleasing touch. There's also a half-length mirror, vanity unit, plenty of storage and a swivel loo. And with heating vents in the floor, it's going to be a great space to use as a dressing room in the depths of the winter. The Marquis Majestic 255 will set you back £50,995 on the road. It's 7.4 metres long, but it has a payload of 460 kilograms, so it will have plenty of room for taking all the touring kit a couple with the occasional guest will need. And those occasional guests can fit into those rather natty travel seats that we saw. Pretty ingenious thinking. We haven't mentioned the fact that this van has Aldi heating, so it's a genuine 4-season tourer and will keep you warm and toasty all round the calendar. There's also a couple of other extras as well, like this wind-out canopy awning up there that Marquis has thoughtfully provided. Perfect for days like this where you're seeking a bit of shade. Now, I don't know about you, but if I was in the royal family, I'm not sure I'd want all the hassle of having a royal yacht. I think I'd have a Majestic motorhome, just like one of these.
As recently as the mid-1990s, Bessacar was still very much an independent manufacturer in its own right. Its speciality was building high-end caravans for customers with deep pockets, and its name was mentioned in the same reverential, hushed tones as reserved for the likes of Buccaneer and Van Royce. But then the bad days came a-calling. Van Royce succumbed to its wounds almost immediately, and Buccaneer was snapped up by Explorer Group. As for Bessacar, it was sold off to Swift Group, which almost immediately began manufacturing motorhomes under its prestigious new moniker. The motorhome we have here today is the very latest of the breed. It's called the 496 High Style, and it's a special edition built by Swift for Loudons here in the Midlands. It claims to offer an enticing blend of Swift common sense with Bessacar design flair. The question is, has it pulled it off? You enter the 496 straight into this spacious and welcoming forward lounge area, and straight away it's easy to see the benefits that this particular layout offers. This Pullman area, for instance, offers 4 fully belted travel seats. It's also a very good dining area. The settee opposite is a good size too. It can certainly take a couple of full-sized adults, although it does seem a little strange that the passenger cab seat doesn't actually swivel. And as you'd expect, this area does convert into a good-sized double bed. Simply pull out some slats from beneath the settee opposite, flip a few cushions, and you've got a good-sized bed downstairs. A downstairs bed? Well, yes, this area has a little secret up its sleeve, because this is not actually a ceiling, it's the bottom of the drop-down bed. You simply put a key into the isolator, press a button, and hey presto, a full-sized fixed double bed swings down from the roof at pretty good speed. So much for the front lounge then, but check this out. The 496 is the only model in the current Bessacar range to have this full-sized U-shaped rear lounge, and it really is a whopper. It comes with its own speakers and sunroof too, and the near side settee is pretty much big enough to serve as a single bed, as long as you're not much taller than 6 foot. The double bed though, well, that is huge as well, and it's a doddle to make up. You simply pull out some slats from here, flip some cushions, and Bob's your uncle. In truth, there's a slight whiff of compromise about the Bessacar 496's side kitchen. That enormous end lounge really does encroach on its floor space somewhat. That said, it does just about pass the all-important cereal box test, and this handy flap here opens up much needed additional worktop space. It's well equipped in here too. The full cooker has a separate oven and grill and a dual fuel hob. It has a fitted microwave oven too, together with this handy electric extractor fan to get rid of all those whiffy cooking smells. The fridge is a good size too. It doesn't have a separate freezer, but it's good in capacity and it's actually well lit in there too. In truth, there's no such thing as a truly perfect motorhome. There's usually an Achilles heel somewhere. And in the case of the Bessacar 496 High Style, it's right here in the washroom. If you were hoping to find a fully lined separate shower, then I'm afraid you're out of luck. It's an all-in-one affair. This bifold door here makes a decent fist of trying to keep the toilet dry while you're showering. But the truth of the matter is, if you have a shower in here, everything's going to get very wet indeed. And this shower tray is very small as well. On the plus side, it is very well lit in here, and storage is well above average. We're quite fond of this dual roll tap as well. It has a handy trigger function and also serves as the shower head. A great deal of this motorhome's special equipment lives here in the cab area. The factory radio, for instance, has been replaced by this nifty little pod here, which comprises a DAB radio, CD player, touchscreen sat-nav and even Bluetooth phone connection. You also get air conditioning and cruise control as standard, together with the usual brace of airbags for both passenger and driver. And as you'd expect, it's a very good motorhome to drive. Power comes from Fiat's proven 130 multi-jet diesel engine, allied to a slick-shifting 6-speed manual gearbox, although you can upgrade to the Comfortmatic Auto at an additional cost if you want. There is one slight quirk in here though that we're not quite sure about. This dashboard trim seems a bit mix and match to us. Fake aluminium on the outside, fake wood in the middle. Come on Swift, make up your mind. The whole point of a special edition motorhome is to offer the customer more for less. And on that front, the Bessacar 496 High Style really does hit the spot. A standard model will set you back not far short of £51,000. But this one, with all the kit on board, is just £1,000 more. By any stretch of the imagination, that's very good value for money indeed. There are a few drawbacks. The kitchen and washroom in particular have their little flaws, and it does work best as a 4-berther than a full-blown 6-berther. But the bottom line really is this: it's a motorhome that growing families really cannot afford to overlook.
Fine examples of dealer specials right there, but we're not finished yet. When we come back, we're going to be looking at one that's ideal for families on tour.